I don't know. I got stuck there. Welcome back. Keeping the comic. I'm kidding. I just wanted to see your face, buddy. I just wanted to see your face. Welcome back to GNT. It's me. We're two bald guys with beards.
Right. That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if you know this about us, but we're the only two bald guys with beards who talk about nerdy shit on the internet. It's facts.
It's actually facts. It's very true.
It's very true. We're not only are we the first to have ever done it, we're the baldest. Nobody has less hair than we do.
Yes, that's also fact, isn't it? It is. It gotta be fact. I don't think I know anybody else that has less hair.
That's because everybody has more hair. I'm the T. That's the G.
That's true.
And,
more hair. Yeah, you got it.
As we said, we're doing bi-weekly now, as we mentioned in the last one, because not enough stuff's happening every week. You know, those are more for pop-ups and stuff. And we've had a little bit of stuff happen, and I literally do mean little. A very small amount of stuff. Things we're going to be covering today. We're going to cover the ending of Peacemaker, and we already talked a great deal about how we felt about the season, but there were 2 episodes that kind of wrapped it up, how we feel and what it kind of means for James Gunn DCU, what our feelings are about that. Then we're going to go into what we mentioned, the spotlight. We're going to do a character spotlight on IronMan. A little bit of MCU, little bit of comic book, just kind of putting it all together. We're going to kind of run this through when there's nothing to talk about, just to get it out. Just to say, like, hey, we got stuff to talk about, because we got a lot of information. We got a lot of knowledge between us about random nonsense. Iron Man seems like a really good topic, so we'll start with there, and we'll figure out what makes sense as we go on. And then we got our Q&A. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening, subscribing, sending us panties or boxers, whatever you wear.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got boxers personally, but okay, all right.
I don't wear underwear. It's well known. It's well documented.
That's fair. I mean, in general,
I'm also not wearing pants. You want to see what my pants are right now? It's this very old Afghan that my grandmother made. These are my pants right now.
It looks nice and warm, to be fair.
It's so warm.
Yeah.
It's so warm. Cold now, it's cold right now. Yeah, it's super cold out of nowhere. But it's supposed to be like 65 tomorrow. So I'm at that point where I'm like, well, I'm not going to turn my air conditioner off.
That's fair.
I need it because my room gets really hot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just keep it cold and then just bundle up, because if I'm trying to sleep and I get hot, I will kick off the sheet. So like right now, I'm like, I don't like pants. I do like warm shit. We'll figure it out. Okay. We're going to go right into Peacemaker, and I'm going to let you take it over so I can light my cigarette.
Yeah. So Peacemaker. So one of possibly a waste of my time. One of the biggest wastes of my time I've ever experienced. And first and foremost, right? And this is my mistake. I should have 100% watched season 1 first before I actually watched season 2. But I went in saying, well, I know that season 2 is supposed to directly tie into the James Gunn DCU and all that crap. And yes, there's some things that tie in, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. You know, like what spoiler alert, like we're not going to be talking non-spoilers
ever,
yeah, but just my overall thoughts, man. From the very beginning of the season, I said this James Gunn can be either hit or miss, and there's none in between. It's hit or it's missed. There's no in between where that's concerned, and this is one of his misses. And the reason why it misses is because the show never really had any proper stakes. None. There was never a point in time where I said, oh no, this can't happen. Oh no, they need to stop them. Oh no, don't do that. Like never at any point was it was all just like a series of decisions that were being made that sort of kind of had no value whatsoever to the characters, other than I guess there's like these family ties and trauma and loss and dealing with hardships. Sure, like I guess that's fine. We saw that with the main character, But overall, like it didn't really feel like a good ensemble. It felt like a bunch of just lack of character development. Hardcore, I thought, just never had a proper sort of set like progression at any point in time. She stayed very leveled, very disappointed in that. And then apart from just like some of the jokes just being funny, it was just like, or not even really funny, but just like silly. It didn't feel like it went anywhere, man. It just didn't feel like it went anywhere whatsoever. It just felt like a bunch of random things happening that didn't really mean anything at all. And I thought that the pacing of the show was really off. I feel like they dragged on some of the arcs a little bit too long. I said that I think they should have been in the other universe faster than one or two things. Either he goes into the other universe faster, or he gets himself into some real trouble because of what he did in the other universe quicker. Like one of those two things had to have happened. They spent too much time trying to build up to him actually getting it. When did he actually go in there? Episode 4 is when he was finally like, oh yeah, I'm in this universe now. Episode 5, it wasn't him. It just wasn't, like I said, there wasn't enough any stakes. And then the last episode was so disappointing because you thought that it was going to be like this big kind of showdown between Chris, his group, with the nonsense that Rick Flag is doing, Rick Flag Sr. is doing. And then that didn't really amount to anything apart from, okay, we're just gonna force a cliffhanger so that you have to watch season 3. That's it. That's all it felt like to me. So we could talk about some of the other like ramifications. What does this mean? What's the significance of, like checkmate and that place or whatever? I'm tiptoeing around some of it because I do want to leave some space for you to actually talk about specifics. But that's just kind of like my thoughts. I just feel like this was, if I'm looking at it without nitpicking and going directly into it, I just feel like this was a waste of time.
Yep, we're good. I know you're not watching the stream, but I just put up a picture of James Gunn in his first ever acting role.
Okay, I'm
He
gonna go
played
there
a
now.
Stephen Hawking's type character in the Toxic Avenger 4, Citizen Toxie, Chroma Phil. And the reason I know this is because I recently watched the new Toxic Avenger and I thought it was okay. So I went back
Okay,
and watched all of the old Toxic Avengers because they are very easy to put on and just do anything else and be like, stupid. Because all
yeah,
those trauma movies were terrible. And James Gunn was in it. And I was like, I think that's James Gunn. And I looked it up and sure as shit, it was James Gunn. So I took a screenshot and I made sure that we had it.
that's fair.
And then a screenshot I didn't like, so I found one on the internet that was a little bit better because the one I had was incredibly graphic because Toxic Avenger doesn't mess around. That said, I've been very clear on my opinion of James Gunn. I think he's a great director. I think he has he's 59 years old. Let's start off with that. That dude
Oh,
looks
okay.
great for 59.
Yeah, he does.
That dude looks phenomenal. Like that dude whited out his hair by choice. He didn't go gray. You know what I mean? Like he might have had a couple of grays and was like, no, we're going all white. And he like, I think I like James Gunn as a person. I think he's a funny dude. I think he's a silly guy. I don't think he takes himself too seriously. I think he takes his work very seriously.
Yeah.
But, I don't, that's different strokes. I've heard a lot that this season is an allegory for him being fired by Marvel. And after I heard that, I said, oh, okay, I could see it. Still not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like cool. It had all the pieces of a TV series. It had all the pieces of a James Gunn anything production.
Yeah.
It had obscure ass music. right? It had
Indeed,
dick
it did.
fart jokes. It
Yep.
had it had uh moments where characters get to grow and change. And then it just kind of like, I don't want to say like Joss Whedon, because Joss Whedon he did something different, right? He built up a character and then got rid of it. Got like they died,
Yep.
so you felt with it, or they changed or something bad, so you felt with the character. And sometimes the fans connected with characters because he didn't intend them to connect, because he wrote them so well, like in Buffy and stuff. Like he wrote the characters so well, even small characters like Coulson from Avengers. Coulson wasn't supposed to be a big character ever, but Joss Whedon made him, and Joss Whedon was the reason Coulson got they cast
Agents of
Clark
Shield,
Gregg
yeah.
to be in Agents of Shield, and his brother directed it.
Yeah.
Great. I think James Gunn is, I think, two things now, because we are 3 things into the DCU under James Gunn and Peter Safran. We
Yeah.
are Creature Commandos, which was the absolute perfect James
great.
Gunn venue.
Yeah.
Like it was animated. It had dick and butt jokes. It had silly, goofy characters. It had a story that made sense, and I believed it, and I followed it, and it all worked out.
Yep.
And then there was Superman, and I feel like James Gunn was too hands-on Superman, and what we ended up with was a version of, I don't think anyone did poorly. I think everyone in Superman was great. I think the story was okay. I think that what we focused on was too much of everything and not enough of Superman for that entire show. And like, he made some choices I didn't like, but that's whatever. I'm not going to like everything. So I think James Gunn was not the right director for Superman. I think James Gunn needs, if it was fine. I think, I don't think it was a bad Superman. I think it was better than almost all of Zack Snyder's movies combined.
That's fair.
Like,
okay.
I think Man of Steel was a better Superman movie than Superman was. But I think that they both had their flaws. And I think Zack Snyder tried to make Superman a Christ-like figure. Which,
I mean, the whole idea of him siring, I'm not gonna, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna get into this.
Yeah. I think that Superman was not as good as it should have been, and as it could have been. And then we have Peacemaker season 2. Coming off the heat of Peacemaker season 1. Season 1 was great, funny, stupid, had a plot you could follow, had character development you could have. This season, I don't like, why are we introducing his dad and his brother? If that's what they were going to do. If they were going to kill his dad, if they were going to have Adrian 1 or Adrian 2 kill his dad. Why it's so fast? We got one line of, oh, he might, I get it. It was to make Chris suffer, but I've been watching Chris get beaten up and get his ass kicked for a season and a half now.
See,
I'm not watching the third.
And maybe that's kind of my problem too. Is like I didn't understand what the purpose of that. You said okay, just to watch him suffer. In my head, I was just like, okay, what would have been far more interesting to me is to see what he now does after having to kill his father in the last season. Like, what is the progression from that point? Except we brought him back to seeing his father. I'm like, there was no character growth there.
I thought we were going to get something interesting. I thought at some point in the second to last episode, I thought we were going to find out that this version of Augie Smith was from Peacemaker's dimension and they switched.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought they had
So-
switched for, I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure someone could have written it, but I was like, oh, this guy's not a piece of shit. Imagine if this was Chris's real dad.
Yep.
Right. And then like they switched early on, and I can't work it out logically why one chose to and one didn't. Maybe, but like I thought that there was something there that there wasn't. Oh, he's not a piece of shit. I mean, he's still in Nazi world, right?
Yep. Right.
I don't know. What I do know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that none of it mattered. None of it mattered.
Bottom line. Bottom line. None of it mattered.
If we want to talk about who the arch villain of the arc was, did you believe? I think Frank Grillo is a phenomenal fucking actor. Truly awesome. I think Frank Grillo did a great job as Rick Flag Sr. That is not the same character that was in Creature Commandos.
It's not even the same character that they show in Superman, because you saw like glimpses of the character in Superman, and you were saying, okay, well, he's
not even the same character. He's not the same character from episode to episode.
He's
like,
not.
He's like, what are his motivations? I get why he wanted to get even with Chris. I get that completely. He could have shot Chris in the fucking head. He could have shot Chris in the head 100 times. There were so many opportunities. If he wanted Chris dead, to kill Chris Smith, Peacemaker. If he wanted him dead, he could have killed him, and he could have had him killed. There were so many different ways. The Eagly being the Prime Eagle. Wow, that was an interesting ass reveal in the middle of the fucking season. That he was actually, that wasn't a made up thing. That Yondu, that redneck Yondu, Merle from Walking Dead, was actually right. Like, I was like, oh shit, he's the Prime Eagle. Never comes up again. Oh, they're holding it. What are we? There's cliffhangers, there's dangling threads, and then there's nothing burgers. Peacemaker season 2 is a nothing burger, right? There are parts that are interesting. Like, we got one episode with Lex. Cool. And now Rick Flag is sucking Lex's cock? No, he doesn't. Rick Flag is definitely not. Superheroes saved the world from Lex's problem, and Rick didn't trust Lex. Rick didn't trust Lex when he talked to him.
Yep.
Why is Rick Flag acting this way? So the only options I have is that Rick Flag isn't Rick Flag. Sure. But he is, because of that last scene. Why would he be so mad at Chris if he was somebody else, right?
Right.
I feel like, again, another show that could have been 4 episodes and we would have been like, cool. But they didn't tell the good stuff. They could have done the first half of the arc, could have been the first 4 episodes. He went to this universe, episode 1. Episode 2, he determined that he shouldn't be here. Episode 3, he was permanently in that, and people came to get him. And then episode 4, they figure out he's in fucking Nazi world. All that shit happens. And now we have that half of the season over. He turns the stuff over. And the second half of the season is dealing with the actual setup problem. This show was nothing. It was poorly paced. Did I watch every episode? Yes. Do I pay for Max? No. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, if I haven't said this, and I will say this every time, I don't pay for any subscription service for TV. I have some. I have Netflix through my phone. I have had Hulu. I don't know what to count that as anymore, because Hulu's now going away because Disney. Yeah, I have Hulu. Like, I currently have access to it because I have a Spotify Hulu deal that is like $20 a month for both. And I'm like, well, all right, fine. But that deal is locked in for like 5 years. So whatever. So like, yeah, I pay for Spotify because I'm always going to pay for Spotify. And I'm like, well, I could pay $16 or I could pay an extra $4. Move away. I don't have ads on anything, not because I pay for the versions without ads, because we live in 2025. And if you don't know how to use an ad blocker, Or if you think ad blockers have been stopped, you're wrong and don't know what you like. Go to Reddit. If you ever need a problem, type in problem solved, whatever the problem you need solved, and the word Reddit, you're going to find an answer. Yeah, you're going to, yeah. Or say the wrong answer to something and somebody will correct you. If you want the fastest way to get the correct answer on the internet is not to ask a question. Nobody fucking cares. It's to say the wrong answer to a question and 5 people will come and correct you. And sites too. Yeah. It's very fact. Very true fact. I'm always afraid that James Gunn is not the person to be in charge. And it's because being in charge is not the same as like there's different levels, you know, like you could be in charge of a movie because you're the director of the movie. But guess what? The director of the movie is not in charge of the movie. The director of the movie is pseudo in charge. Well, the director of the movie gets to do whatever the director of the movie wants to do. The producer of the movie, the head producers, not like the 6th producer or whatever, but like the executive producers of the movie get to tell the director what they want, whether the director likes it or not. And then there's the ADs, the first assistant director, who does actually all the work because the director's too busy. So anyone who you ever see as first AD, they're doing all of the fucking work, making sure everything's going smoothly. And they're the ones who get reamed out because no one's going to yell at a director because all directors are divas. It's one thing to be in charge of a movie or a TV show. It's another thing to be in charge of a business or a company. James Gunn currently has thousands of people's jobs in his hand. And 2 of his 3 first things were relatively lackluster. Now, Supergirl? Okay, cool. I'm in. I'm always in for a movie. I'm not ever going to say no, I'm not going to watch it, but I am going to say I'm not going to spend money on it. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
And I always I have a friend Rico, who used to always say like, dude, go see it and make up your mind for yourself on everything. And I was like, do you have any idea how much that costs? Like, Rico, you don't make any fucking money. What are you talking about, bro? Like, yeah, like I don't trust critics. Like, you don't have to trust critics. Like, you really don't. You don't have to trust anything. But if you want to go see something, go for it. Go see the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, you know? Go see
at your own risk.
You know, yeah, go spend your money on this movie. Go alone too, because you're not dragging me in for that. I'll watch anything. I just am not going to pay money to watch it unless I'm excited, and nothing's got me excited, let alone, I mean, the Clayface movie. Why are we making a Clayface movie? Clayface TV series? Watch that in a heartbeat. I think James Gunn is drinking the cognac a little hard. And I think he's like, I have an idea. You know what people want to watch? Obscure secondary characters. Yeah. All right, dude. It'll probably be great. It'll probably be a really fun movie. But who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's it for me on Peacemaker.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem for me. It's like I think I've said this already. I'm definitely more of a Marvel fan than I am a DC fan, right? So like I'm probably less tolerant of DC not being good as I am Marvel. Like Marvel, I'll stick it out. DC, I'm like, what's the point of all this? That to me was sort of like the issue with watching Peacemaker was, man, Creature Commandos was good. It was a fun show. Didn't really mean anything, but it was a fun show. And that had little small nuances. I love the individual episodes of the characters. Like these Suicide Squad-ish type characters. Like it was nice. It was nice having these little individual episodes. Still love GI Robot, still my favorite character in the DC universe ever.
September 3rd, 47 Nazis were sent to meet the devil.
Like still 100% my favorite character.
It was a goofy character, but it didn't matter because it was fun.
Right, exactly. And then we have a clunker in Peacemaker that once again didn't really have any value, didn't really show me anything from a character development perspective. And for once again, for me, like the big, you know me already. The biggest thing for me is always it's character, it's character development and character interactions that matter to me. And there were just a lot of these times and a lot of these moments where I didn't really feel the characters connecting. It felt like everybody had an individual sort of purpose, but they never meshed together. And maybe that was intentional. Maybe it was intentional that like what this really is a fractured team, a fractured individuals. Season one was very taxing on them, so therefore they're still trying to find themselves after all this nonsense. But then they still never found themselves, except for the last 5 minutes of the series, I guess. But even then, that was still anticlimactic.
You know my
Because nothing
stance. 8
happened.
episodes is not a TV series anymore. 8
But
episodes is not
we don't
enough.
have we don't have those any we don't have long series anymore. That's kind of the problem though, right? We don't have enough. Like this is a show where I felt like this is my thought. Like if this series was 12 episodes and then you took the time to say, okay, well, he gets into the universe in episode 4. Then in episode 4, there's this like this period where him and that hardcore they start to bond like and really bond, and we're starting to be like, well, this is a bad decision, but also it's kind of going really well. And then we find out about the Nazi situation, maybe episode 6, 7. Then the group comes in, and then we spend 6, 6, 7. We spend 8, 9, 10 with them trying to get him out of that universe, and then we get to explore what that universe really is. And then they get him out in episode at the very end of episode 10. Then we have these last 2 episodes here of like the consequences of being in that universe and everything else that was going on outside of it. Like I feel like I could digest that more, even though I would still feel like the last 2 episodes are kind of rushed. I feel like I would still be able to digest that more because we got enough exploration within the first 10 episodes. Everything just felt discombobulated. The pace, like I said, the pacing was off. Not only was the pacing off, I also felt like the character resolutions were not flushed out enough. The Rick Flag Senior, this seemed all over the place, right? It's the scene, and everyone, and there was no checks and balances. That's another thing with me with Rick Flag's character. There was no checks and balances. There was no one there to say, "Hey, like, what are you doing? Like, is this really the right decision for you to be making?" Nobody checked. Nobody. There was no opposition for him. And a character that's just like that benevolent and just can do whatever the hell he wants is never really as exciting to me. There has to be some sort of pushback to it. What that person can eliminate the pushback quickly because yes, there is some benevolence if you want to look at it from that perspective, but at least show some pushback. No one ever challenged him on anything. And that to me just wasn't fun either.
I got nothing. Like, will I watch season 3? Yeah, of course.
Sure.
It cost me nothing. Will I go out of my way? Am I excited for season 3? No, for the same reason I've always said. 1, we have to make a decision. 4, 12, 22. That's the seasons now. You can get 4 episodes because the shows that have done 4 episodes have fucking nailed it. The shows that have done 6 should have been 4, right? 4 episodes. Animated could do whatever you want. Animated, I don't give a shit. But like 4 is enough time to tell a story. You have the opening act, the ending act, and 2 episodes to flesh act 1, act 3, and then 2 hours for act 2. That's every fucking movie can do that in about 2 hours. Every movie in the history of movies can do that in 2 hours. And movies are $1 billion options, or up to $1 billion franchises, and they cost between $50 and $150 million if they're not insane. A TV show should not cost that much. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah.
And they don't cost that much. They're just like this.
Unless you're
like it.
Marvel with She-Hulk and Secret Invasion, and
I don't know. I'm cool with people saying I enjoy stuff. I've always been cool with that.
Yeah.
I've always been like, you know what? I actually liked it. And I know people who watched Peacemaker and were like, no, I fucking dug it, man. I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't like the expression, don't yuck people's yum. I don't like it because some people yum some yucky ass shit. Like, did you put ketchup on your steak? What? Yeah. I like it. You're a monster, and people need to know you're a monster so you don't ever reproduce. Like there's things there. There's moments in this, like that, like I always said, like gatekeeping is not preventing specific people from accessing a group. Like that's segregation. You know what I mean? That's
fair.
Straight up discrimination. Gatekeeping is preventing anybody from accessing something that's important. Gates exist to keep out people. Now, sometimes it's shitty. There's shitty reasons, but not all the time. And the reason I'm even bringing that up in this is I play Magic the Gathering. You know that goof. Everyone kind of knows that. I play somewhat casually now. I don't play anywhere near as competitively as I used to. And the most recent set was Spider-Man. The most recent Magic the Gathering set was Spider-Man. And right here is, I don't know if it's going to come up very well, but this is a Ben Reilly card, Scarlet Spider card. And I pulled it out of a pack that I got for just showing up one day at my local store. And I was like, oh, cool. It's Ben Reilly. And I looked and went, this isn't a good card. I love Ben Reilly. It's my favorite Spider-Man. But this isn't a good card. And it's a cool looking art, but it's not good. So why are we making bad Spider-Man cards? So that more people can come into Magic? I don't need Magic. Whoever came up with the idea that like the more people who like something, the more stuff they can make. Yeah, look how that's worked for every company in the history of ever. Is Apple making the best phones? Is Samsung making the best phones right now? No, they're not. They're making whatever the least they have to do anything. Has Marvel been making phenomenal TV and movies? Not particularly. Like, the more people who like something, the less likely that something is going to be maintain its like the reasons you like it. Rick and Morty, great show. Good show. Okay show. Look who likes it. Fuck. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of stuff. If you like something, great. Like, don't listen to me. If you want analysis of something, then you don't like it. Because, analysis, it's like a joke. It's like explaining a joke. What's the expression? Explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. Yeah. You understand it better, but it dies in the process. It's the same thing. I'm going to give analysis. You're going to give analysis. We're going to give like how it made us feel, what we liked, what we didn't like, what didn't make sense. It might have not. I don't want that to ruin your experience. If you like something and like I don't want to do that, then don't listen. Like, or just be like, no, shut up. Like, okay, cool, man. Don't say I'm wrong because I'm not. Like, but say like it doesn't matter. Like that's fair and totally reasonable. But that's it. Like Peacemaker. Man, I wanted to love that shit, the season 2, and I was holding out for a banger of an episode 5. I think it's finale 70. I don't even know what that says. And it couldn't bring it together, so it all fell apart. I don't know. But that's it. That's
Yeah.
That's Peacemaker for us. So we can move immediately now into Iron Man for as long as we want to talk about Iron Man.
Why not?
So yeah, like just this is the first one, so we're gonna be as clean with it as we can. I just have a picture up of all the MCU Iron Man costumes to give us through there. And this is the spotlight for the character of Iron Man right now as he stands in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Goof, do you want to lead off? You want me to softball you stuff? How you want to do it?
I
Because
I
we're
can
both
lead it off.
prepared.
Yeah, I can lead it off. So I get so Iron Man was such a big portion. I mean, he was the main cog of the MC universe. Without Iron Man, you really don't have an MCU. But it does kind of lead the question of how exactly would the MCU have launched, or would have been different if we did not have that '08 Iron Man film? Like, or what if it failed? Would there be an MCU?
So there's books and there's reports and there's history about like they were the intention after the first Iron Man was that they were going to build the entirety of the NCU around the character.
Yeah.
Because whether that was a smart thing or, that was a plan. Even there was supposedly going to be a scene at the end of I think it was Iron Man 2 or 3, I don't remember, probably 3, where he flies off into space because someone, I don't know who, they never clarified it, or maybe they did, and I don't know, didn't think the Guardians of a Marvel movie that had nothing to do with
Earth.
Earth could possibly work. So let's use Iron Man to connect with it. And I know for a fact that James Gunn was like, no,
Yeah.
someone else can do it. And they're like, no, you're pretty deep in. He's like, this is my vision. And it was right. And then we hear that stuff. So when it comes to Iron Man, there is no MCU without Iron Man, proven. We now know that. And a lot of it is Robert Downey Jr. being being the kickoff, right? I don't, if they started with Thor, probably wouldn't have been as good. If they started with Hulk, definitely wouldn't have been as good. If they started with Captain America,
You had a chance, but
50-50 on that. I don't think that movie was as good. But Iron Man was the perfect storm of a light-hearted. We hadn't had a light-hearted superhero movie since I think it was a light-hearted superhero movie. We hadn't had one since like the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like that was the last light-hearted one. ASM 2, when it was when Goblin, Harry was dying, everyone was sad, everything sad and great. We were in this Batman Begins hell of everything gritty and dark and disappointing
dark.
and we got Iron Man, which was just a good fantasy. It wasn't science fiction. It was a fantasy movie. It didn't have this, it wasn't high fantasy, it wasn't elves, but it was a fantasy movie. And it had good acting, easy to follow story, really fun special effects, and it paced well. The first Iron Man movie holds up. You could still watch it. And that quality of movie, which again, how much did that movie cost to make? I think like 70 million, I think is what they said at the time. And they had already planned 3 movies. They had planned they filmed Iron Man and Hulk around the same time, and they had planned on Captain America, but they hadn't started filming it. And when Iron Man took off, they did Captain America and Thor roughly the same time. But there was an arc when Feige came over from Fox, because that's where he was. When he came over from Fox and pitched this idea to Marvel, right before Disney bought them, literally right before, he's like, "This is what we can do, and we have these characters. Let's just make some good movies, right? Let's not take these characters and tell us let's tell a weird story, like most of the fans had it like." We have so many goggles. And again, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, I think, was a great movie. Hey, Baka. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 was a great movie. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3
Molina carried that movie, so I mean...
Yeah. And Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 was sweaty dog shit. Well, what would Spider-Man 4 have been like? Well, don't you guys want to know? No, because it was dog shit. Now, if you have a memory of being 13 when that movie came out, yeah, it was probably fine. But go watch it now. I'm serious. Go watch it now. Don't have anything else on. Don't like put it on in the background and be like, yeah, this is my favorite part. Like, watch that movie now. Watch it like you love it. Watch it the way I watch Winter Soldier, which is once a month. Every month for the last 10 years. Full attention. And
because it's that good.
Yeah, because Winter Soldier fucking rules. I love that movie. I'm being slightly hyperbolic, but I cannot stress the slightly enough.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I could say a couple months have passed, but I could also say I've watched it back to back. So you know what I mean? Like if I say I watch Winter Soldier 12 times a year, believe it's true.
I mean, I'll argue with anyone. Captain America: Winter Soldier is perhaps the best MCU movie.
No, it's the best
ever
MCU.
made.
It's the best MCU.
I'm saying probably because like Infinity War is still
Infinity War was awesome.
Infinity War is still there.
The only reason the only reason they kind of live in different realms to me is that Infinity War is a story that took 10 years to tell. And Captain America Winter Soldier comes out of the box and is awesome. And I've shown Captain America Winter Soldier to people who've never seen Marvel movies at the time. Not now. Now it's like
not everybody's seen Marvel.
To him now. Yeah, now like how, what are you, 4 or 100? You know, like that's the line. I showed Captain America Winter Soldier to my grandfather, who didn't watch movies. He was 96. I'm sorry, he was 90 when he passed. He was 86 when I think we watched Captain America Winter Soldier. And he was like, why is that guy in a computer? I was like, I don't know. He's like, all right. And then he started, that was the only question he had the entire movie. Why is that guy in a computer? I was like,
why is he in a computer? Yeah.
I didn't have an answer. Beautiful. He's like, okay. And then like, he's like, he's a bastard. That's the only thing he said.
Yeah, he is.
He's a bastard. You're like, okay, thanks, Grandpa. The point is, the movie holds up. It's a fun action movie with stakes that has its time for storytelling and jokes and little like winks and nudges. Couldn't have been done without Iron Man. Iron Man needed to nail it, and the first Iron Man movie did, and the second Iron Man movie didn't nail it, but it was still good.
It didn't suck. That was, that was the big thing for it. It didn't suck, and it was enough. And because also of what the first movie did, and at the time when Iron Man, the second movie came out, we already knew that we were going to be getting Captain America, Thor. So there was things to look forward to during that time. So even though it didn't do well, we were just like, okay, well, they're also coming out with these other movies. And then we also knew that Avengers was coming. So we were like, all right, they're slapping this one out there. They're going to give us Thor. They're going to give us Cap. we're gonna get an Avengers movie, and an Avenger was just great. So, but honestly, once again, without the original Iron Man film, I mean, think about it from this perspective, right? That movie had to be good for you to have a chance to build anything else, because guess what? Hulk wasn't good, and Hulk came out the previous year.
No, same year.
That was 07, I think. Hulk was 07, and I think Iron Man was 08.
Hulk came out the same. It was like within 8 months of the first Iron Man.
Hulk. I must look it up now.
It was, I can tell you the exact order.
Oh, was it 08? Okay, it was 08. All right.
It was Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2, Captain America, and Avengers. And then Iron Man 3.
And Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 happened right after Avengers.
Right after Avengers, yeah. Because
that was the only reason I know that is because I have the box sets. The first box set was I'm not gonna get it, but fucking it's there. It's the chest with the Tesseract in it, and in the Tesseract is the things. The second box set was the Guardians of the Galaxy globe, the orb, and the third box set for Phase 3. Oh god, I forgot what it was now. I haven't even opened the box for it because I have all that shit digitally. Yeah, with Doctor Strange and everything. But yeah, it was the Blu-rays and DVD sets. It was really, really cool. I picked them up when they're like fucking thousands of dollars, but when they came out, it was like $150. I was like, hell yeah, give me that shit. That's cool as hell. I love tchotchkes. I love random stuff. Yeah, it had to be Iron Man. Truly, like if you look at the entire Phase 1, it was Iron Man's story featuring Captain America, and then everybody else was involved.
Yeah.
The entire arc needed Iron Man. He was so integral to the story. And what they could have done was not get rid of Captain America then and give him one more, I don't want to say year, but like one more pass as being relevant to move on with somebody left, because that's the order. As of like when the phase, I'm say arc, the Infinity arc, Infinity Saga, whatever they called it. When that ended, they lost their number 1 and number 2.
Yep.
Their number 1 was Iron Man. Their number 2 was Captain America.
Was Cap.
Yep. No question. Like those were the two that carried the franchise through.
And the far third was like Thor. Like Thor. that was like your three.
Because they couldn't use Hulk. Because Universal owned the rights to Hulk, so they're like, we can use him in Avengers stuff, and we can use him as a character. We just can't make another movie for whatever reason that the contracts and stuff didn't work out. So they're like, we're just not bothering with it. They didn't have access to if they had the X-Men, if they got the X-Men earlier,
if they had Fantastic Four, but they could have made some things happen. With the success
of Iron Man, they went so deep into Star-Lord got rewritten to be more like Iron Man.
Yep.
Factual. Like that's a real thing. Star-Lord as the character is nothing like that. Like he's nothing like Chris Pratt, but he needed to be. Thor got rewritten to be more like Iron Man. The only character who managed to go most of the fucking time without being like Iron Man was Steve Rogers. It wasn't until Infinity War when he's like, that is America's ass. Like that was the moment. That and the Hail Hydra was the moment where Steve was like, I'm going to be a little Iron Man-y. Yeah. But Steve was every character Doctor Strange took on Iron Man. Like, but to be fair,
well, Doctor Strange is so Doctor Strange, and like that one, I didn't really see too much as Iron Man, just because Doctor Strange is an arrogant asshole, and Stephen Strange is very much like how Stephen Strange, how Benedict Cumberbatch is. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
the character that was already kind of similar in in tone.
Yeah.
He is more serious than Tony generally, and
Yeah.
he did it well. The first Doctor Strange movie, he was significantly more serious, but in Multiverse of Madness, how did I hit it there? Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So the Iron Man got a criticism, right? But the character of Tony Stark was integral to the development of everything that the MCU did. All you could feel, every character had to be a little bit zippy, a little bit wittier, a little bit snarkier. Not as snarky, but they all had to have it. Hawkeye is an arrogant asshole. But he actually toned down a little bit.
A little bit,
he
man.
Was still, yeah. Thor.
He was great. By the way, for whatever Avengers Age of Ultron was, whatever that movie was, which by the way wasn't a terrible movie. It was just not enough Ultron. Like that's just what it was. Like it was not enough Ultron. But Renner was really good in that movie. Like he did really well in that movie. Had a lot of good character development. And I was like, oh, this is almost too good because he's going to die. And then he didn't. That was my thought. I was like, this is almost too good because he's going to die now. Is he not? Has to.
Vision
is the personality of Tony.
Vision, the scene in Age of Ultron. That's right. He hates you most. As he just walks by the background, sticks like, Stark, cool.
Yeah.
So Tony Stark was so successful, and they didn't have that. This is resonating with people. They didn't have Captain Marvel couldn't do it. They're like, hey guys, Captain Marvel's really strong. They cut her from Infinity War and Endgame. They cut her from Infinity War. They decided we're going to introduce her in her own movie. She was in the entirety of Endgame for I think 7.5 minutes of screen time. Switch had more screen time.
Yep.
Switch was gone for most of that movie.
I was going to say Switch. So her and Switch probably had similar time frame just because Marvel did have that long scene, that long fight scene, but really Scarlet Witch,
the girls get it done scene,
had more of an impact. Oh man!
Oh, are you watching Gen V?
By the way, I haven't watched the last episode. I haven't watched the last episode. Does it go down?
Yo, Gen V rules.
Because
we're talking about Iron Man.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's not get too
season. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. It feels real bad that Chance Perdomo died. He was a really good character.
Oh,
and
he's great, man.
The character was really good, man. And then I was like, oh man, he died on a motorcycle. It sucks, man. It's terrible. And then they did it, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. They also realized that it sucks.
Yeah, they did.
And they're like, but we got stories to tell. Let's fucking go. And Gen V is fucking nailing it.
I love Cypher. Man, he's great. Cypher's great. Yeah, but anyway,
we interrupt this regularly scheduled Iron Man conversation to talk about how Gen V rules. Please do not adjust your television set unless you're changing us off to watch Gen V right now.
Right.
Then I get it. So good.
That's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah. Oh God. Better than the boys too. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, without question. Think about this, man. It's Tony Stark, but it's also just really RDJ. RDJ just played the heck out of that character. You know, he got it and nailed it. You know, and the thing about it now, and I'll be honest with you, to this day, because I wasn't heavily into comics as I am now. And every time I see Iron Man in anything, I think about RDJ's portrayal And I do believe that the character has kind of been morphed in the comics to kind of fit the persona or fit the way that Tony Stark played the character, because there's a lot of that sort of influence that I can see with, yes, the snarky jokes, but it's not just about the jokes itself being snarky. It's just the well-timed words that, like, it was something simple in a Storm comic where, he like made a sexual innuendo, but it wasn't distasteful. Like it was properly that. So no, I mean, he really, there's no way that this would have been successful without him. And then everything from that, what happened in Civil War, right? Like, there's no way that that story has as much impact without Iron Man in there, and Iron Man being the catalyst of that. There's also no way that that then feeds into what happens in Infinity War. And then also it doesn't, the fitting ending that you got where he finally makes the ultimate sacrifice, because that was the same thing that he was not willing to do. Well, he was willing to do it in the first movie, but that's what he was talked about, not being the one to lay down his life or whatever the case is. Well, he actually did it in Endgame. Like, that, this whole story is about Iron Man. The entire story is about Iron Man, and you can't. And I don't think that you could have had the success that you have without having, like, Captain America couldn't have held that. Captain America could. Captain America dying would have had impact, but it wouldn't have had the impact that Iron Man did. Like, at the end of the end when he snapped, the entire time while these guys are disappearing, dusting away, my entire thought was,
we're doing Cap next, by the way.
But
now that
we have to. But the entire time while we're watching Thanos' people disappear and go, I'm like, the entire time I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, what happened? Like, he snapped. Like, we saw what happened to Hulk when he snapped. What's gonna happen to Iron Man that he snapped? That's the only thing I thought about. And then when we finally got to see him, I was like, damn it, this is beautiful writing. This is beautiful writing, because it all comes full circle. And I just don't think that you could, any other character could capture the gravitas. I don't think that they could, man. I don't think there's any way that you could have made it work without Iron Man. He's too integral to the story. And maybe because we haven't seen it before, maybe we don't think it would work. But just thinking about,
I think it could.
The closest character that you could have had it done with, though, was Steve Rogers. I would say that you could have had it happen with Steve.
The implication is that it had to be around one person.
Yeah,
I think that it didn't, and I think that what we got was great, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But I think that even the things that missed were like the first 10 years of Marvel, the Infinity Saga as a whole. Not all home runs, but I think the story it told was great. First of all, we never had it before. Yep. We never had 22 movies telling one story. Think about that. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it had to be about Iron Man. I don't think it had to be about any one character. I think that the grit that they showed when they made those first movies, I think they could have made the second movies of all of them, and then it stopped being individual shows. They kind of did too, right? Like, Thor shouldn't have been called Thor Ragnarok.
What else would you have called it?
It was as much a Hulk movie as it was a Thor movie. Should have been Thor and Hulk. If they had given every single character 2 movies, an origin movie and then a follow-up movie. And instead of Iron Man 3, which was technically Iron Man and War Machine, but nobody fucking cares. Not nothing against Don Cheadle, but like nobody fucking cares. Like they then took those characters and then made team up movies. That's a way they could have done it, where they still had the Guardians doing their own thing, right? Because they were their own entire thing until Endgame. That just gave us some background of what was happening without really worrying about it. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. That was a team up movie. Was that a Spider-Man movie, or was that a Spider-Man? You know what I mean? Yeah. They had an idea that they could have worked with, where we've introduced these characters in phase 1 and phase 2. And then if we wanted to, we would have one of these characters piggyback into either a sequel movie, or they would be, Iron Man was in the Spider-Man movie. So that was a team up right there you know what I mean? We could have done Thor and Hulk. We did. Perfect. Makes sense. Captain America Civil War didn't need to be called Captain America Civil War. It wasn't a Cap sequel. It was an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
They got a little projectitis about what they were doing. The Ant-Man movies. At some point in time, Ant-Man could have met up with Hawkeye. Anyone who had a movie at the time, we could have had a Hawkeye and Black Widow movie, just the two of them, because that movie would have ruled. like the prequel Hawkeye and Black Widow movie. Or they could have written it so it was like, this is what they're doing, flashback. The entire Black Widow movie should have been Black Widow and
Hawkeye, yeah.
And that would have been, and it could have came out at the time. The point is they could, I'm not saying they should have. I'm saying there's options to not have any one person carry the weight of the MCU. They made this choice to make it all about Iron Man. There was a choice that was made. That choice cost them a lot of money. It made them a lot of money. And then it left them fucking dead.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So if we want to talk about whether they could have or not, we could do that for a long time. We're talking about Iron Man now. And Iron Man is a curse on the MCU. He was a blessing for a decade. And now Iron Man is a curse. Because now we have Ironheart, which is not Iron Man.
Yep.
And now we have Shuri, who is not Iron Man or the Black Panther. She's neither. Well, she is, but she's not.
She is, right, but correct.
Like you can call her anything. You can call her Captain Marvel. It doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
We have 2 whole fucking phases of opportunities to tell stories, and Doctor Strange. You had your Iron Man replacement. Doctor Strange showed up in phase 3 or 2. I'm trying to remember exactly.
He showed up. I think he showed up in the end of phase 2.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around phase 2.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the exact date right. No, it was after Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
it was after Age of Ultron. So it was phase 3.
Both
Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange. He was name dropped. Oh, he was name dropped in Winter Soldier. Oh shit. I don't remember. Now I don't remember. Now my brain is fried on that. We could easily look it up, but why? Just yell at us.
Let's continue the free flow. Yep.
The idea was that either way, the point was Doctor Strange came out long enough that Doctor Strange should have been the Tony Stark. There should have been multiple Doctor Strange movies. He should have been in a post-credit scene of other movies. Like, they shouldn't have met with Wong. They should have met with Wong and Doctor Strange.
Yep.
They had the opportunity.
We have not seen Doctor Strange since 2021.
I don't remember.
When did his movie come out?
I don't
2021.
remember.
We've seen
Sure.
Wong repeatedly. We have not seen Doctor Strange. And he should have been one of your pillars that you move forward the MCU with, because you literally didn't have anyone else. Nobody likes Captain Marvel. No offense, but like nobody likes Captain Marvel. You do not have T'Challa anymore.
If someone's offended, don't be mad at him. Be mad at the box office.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have T'Challa because of what, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man, you just can't put your eggs in that basket because Sony. So,
is Sony going to do whatever they fucking want?
Right.
Until the lawyers call them. And then they're going to delete half of a fucking movie and ship it anyway.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange was your choice. And then you could have even said, all right, you know what? Well, we do still have Chris Hemsworth. But then even then you said, no, we're just going to write him off into whatever the hell he's doing out in yonder places.
So they wanted him in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and James Gunn said
no. Okay. Is that the reason why that whole movie that Love and Thunder happened? Okay.
They wanted him in Guardians of the Galaxy, and James Gunn's like, that's not how I'm ending the story. Also, okay. Fuck you guys for firing me.
Yeah, fair.
And that was his like, nope. You want me to make this movie? I have the movie. I know what I'm doing. This is the story. You already killed Gamora on me.
Yep. And then he had to bring her back, right? Yeah.
He's like, no Thor. They're like, well, we can't put Thor in the Guardians. We'll put the Guardians in Thor for 30 seconds. So, and yeah, Love and Thunder sucked.
Horrible movie.
And there was a recent interview, again, I don't care, of Feige. Again, Feige is... Shut up, dude. Like, you did great. And on your watch, we watched you. Maybe there's a good reason for it. You haven't given it to us. We're all speculating. You've given us sort of good reasons. We understand. But under your fucking watch, you went from a box office juggernaut for a decade to not a single movie this year broke like $500,000. I think Fantastic Four final. I mean, I'm also talking about domestic. Like, but you had a Captain America movie, an Avengers movie, technically, and a Fantastic Four movie. Not a single one was $1 billion movie.
No.
You know why? Because you fucked up. This is under your watch, man. This is on you. The fish rots from the head. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's mitigating circumstances. DC was ruined by Zack Snyder. It was under his watch. And, like, Warner Brothers in general, because Warner Brothers are fucking sociopaths. But this was on you, man. You greenlit Eternals. You greenlit all these TV shows that sucked. And then, which is fine. The shittiness of the TV shows does not affect the movies. The TV shows should be for fans. You could do anything you want in a TV show. And we talked about it. The TV shows overall weren't that bad. The ones that were bad didn't matter.
Yeah.
But come on,
the
man.
Movies just can't suck.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of movies that, unfortunately,
episode 56 or 57, we went over it.
Or we
were like, look, we had the whole list up. We were like, man, phase 1, 2 stinkers. Phase 2, 1.5 stinkers. Phase 3, 1 stinker out of 15 movies. Phase 4, stinkers. Like, all stinkers.
Constantly. All stinkers.
Poopy, caca, poo, poo, pee, pee. Like, all doo-doo.
And at the end of the day,
MODOK.
I could accept them. MODOK. I could accept movies sucking. I could accept movies sucking if there was proper story being told here.
MODOK's an Iron Man villain. Mandarin is an Iron Man villain.
Mandarin is it's correct. Mandarin is an Iron Man villain.
Who's in charge of Stark Industries right now? You couldn't find a line of text to add that somewhere? We know Happy is hanging out at Stark Industries. Is Pepper still in charge?
Where is Pepper?
What's Pepper doing? What's Morgan doing? What's this child? Again, we're talking about Iron Man in the MCU. I have to talk. We glazed how important, how they chose to use him, how great and how influential it was for the first decade of movies. And we're on the...
You kicked Riri Williams out of MIT. Another... If we're going down the line, we got to talk about it. What's going on, by the way, with Hammer? Like, what? Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Why didn't Justin Hammer show up at Riri Williams' doorstep and be like, how much money do you want?
Correct.
I don't have to... You're a poor black child. How much money do you want? Is he still in prison?
I hear you're brilliant, by the way. So therefore, that's why I'm doing this. Yeah. Gosh. And then you introduced Stay in the Sun. And you didn't do anything with that. All right, whatever. Okay.
First of all, remember previously when I was like, you could like something and still be like, yeah, whatever. I like the Ironheart show. I've been very clear on that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought, yeah, it was very dumb. And yeah, I think when we were doing the live thing, I think I was like, okay, but why can't it hold the magic in the AI? That's stupid.
Yeah.
That was the first time in that entire show when I was like, that's stupid. Because everything else, I was like, whatever.
That was the first time to you? No, the first time to me when I was just like, oh, here's this genius girl. And she doesn't figure out how to stop this bomb. She then uses brute strength to then pry open the freaking gate. All right, cool, fine, whatever. All right. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. All right. I already know what the show is.
It could have been better.
It was in that moment where I knew what the hell the show was. I was like, all right, fine.
I liked it.
Fine, we're good.
I enjoyed it. And I'm not going to lie. 96% was Mephisto. like, do you know how you could have watched...
Which also was dumb. Why was Mephisto in the show? But why?
Do you know how you could have watched She-Hulk all the way to the end? And be like, it wasn't bad. Because honestly, if you rewatch She-Hulk, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't.
You just have to skip some episodes, but like you get
no,
if you skip past some parts.
No, it was like the Mr. fucking Immortal episode fucking ruled. It wasn't bad. It was just goofy. It was, it was just a silly show. Like Daredevil does the walk of shame. I was like, this is great. She then on television, she goes, no, we had a what was it? Oh, what was her phrasing? It was like came to a explosive conclusion twice. And I was like, get it, girl. Come. Yeah. You get that
also perfect She-Hulk, because if you know She-Hulk, you know what thing she likes to do.
Yeah, and I get it. I get some people having criticisms. It wasn't really She-Hulk, but also it didn't have to be. It was just silly and goofy and fun. And then that last episode dropped, and it was
look at this.
Oh, thank God. It was the worst thing that ever happened in the entire MCU.
Which was that? I missed what you said. Secret Invasion.
The last
Oh, okay.
no.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
no, the final episode of She-Hulk was worse than all of Secret Invasion. It was the
final
worst.
episode of She-Hulk was a nothing burger. It was what?
No, because a nothing burger tastes like nothing. This was a piss and shit burger. It was so dumb. And oh god, we could bitch about She-Hulk forever, can't we?
I mean, we could. I could do that. I could do Secret Invasion. I can do it all.
I can't bitch about Secret Invasion forever. All I can say is it was dumb. Don't watch it. That's it. It was dumb. It was dumb. Whoever thought of it was dumb. Whoever wrote it was dumb. Whoever acted in it was dumb. Whoever approved it was dumb. There was not a single intelligent person involved in any decision that went into Secret
Invasion. This is the Secret Invasion. Once again, I go and when I explain it this way, everybody gets it. Secret Invasion sucked because of this reason. There was no secret in the invasion.
There was no invasion.
There also was no invasion. Correct.
It was public revealing was a better name of the show than Secret Invasion. Yeah, it was like, hey, we've been here. All right. We knew.
Yeah.
Government agencies knew.
Yeah. I know the regular population didn't, but we were quite aware that you guys have been here for a long ass time. You were used, to
Earth has been invaded by aliens twice now. People of Earth, there are policies in place for aliens. Like, we know twice two times. Was there a third?
No, there was you're talking about the Chitauri and then Thanos, right? That's what you're talking about, those two.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah. It's two. There was that other time. I get do we count the Marvels? They kind of technically made it to Earth ish.
I forgot that happened in the Marvels. The Marvels was a nothing burger.
Actually, also in the other Captain Marvel movie, by the way, there was when the Skrull and Kree came to Earth. No, Kree didn't make it. It was just Danvers, right? Had the whatever. You know what? Semantics. Who cares?
Earth is aware of aliens.
Right. The bottom line is,
why are we you wanted to do a grounded, down to earth show? Could have just been a show about people being like, yo, aliens are real. Fucking wild. We now have to process this information.
No, Secret Invasion happens after we had an entire alien army fight the Avengers on Earth. There's nothing secret about this, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez,
also,
man.
Both invasions were limited to New York.
Yeah.
The first one was like 4 city blocks in Midtown.
The other one was way upstate New York. Yeah.
And not even upstate, like Westchester.
Yeah.
No, not Westchester. I don't even know where the Avengers Tower was, but I know it couldn't have been that far because Ant-Man got there and he only had a bus pass.
Good times. Dude.
So yeah, Iron Man is the curse. They couldn't find another Iron Man. They couldn't tell individual team stories. They set up infinite dangling threads and nothing paid off. And now we're sitting here with the Russo brothers and Doomsday making Endgame Part 2.
Yeah.
And, you have to wonder, maybe they could have had a plan for Iron Man. Remember how excited we were at the end of Endgame?
Oh, we were
and then COVID hit, And we were like, oh no, everything sucks. Marvel, please save us from this misery. And they're like, we got you guys. Here's Black Widow. And we're like, cool. Don't worry, everybody. You know what came out right after Black Widow? I have to confirm this before I say it because I want to make sure.
Wasn't that actually? No. To be fair, though, they kind of cooked with that with WandaVision. Oh, movies. Oh, never mind.
Movies.
Wasn't that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
Okay, I didn't know if Shang-Chi or Eternals came out next. Shang-Chi. Oh wow. Okay, cool.
Shang-Chi wasn't bad. Yeah.
It was Shang Chisel. Yeah, the Chisel came out, and we're like, okay.
And then we had Eternals.
And then we got Eternals, and we're like, what are you doing?
Well, I've never watched that movie again a second time, but I need to. I will. I have to watch it a second time.
We should watch it together. We should.
We 100% should.
maybe what we'll do the next podcast is we'll do a watch Eternal, like it'll be on, it'll be squidgy and muted, so like I'll have the timer running so people can tune in if they want, if the 7 people who know we exist want to do it. And we'll just it'll be like,
that's not fair, bro. The 7 people are us too. Two of them are us.
And we'll just watch the Eternals and be like, well, why is she deaf? Why would they make a super fast robot deaf?
Deaf, yeah.
Why would they do that? Are celestial gods ableist? Are they?
Hold on. He could control anyone that he wants with his thoughts. This could have been useful.
You're telling me
a few centuries before this.
Why didn't you guys get involved with Thanos? Oh, that's not we. Shut up.
Reasons, of course.
Fuck you. Fastos is a kid. Oh, okay. Did you know they're gay? I don't care. Okay. They seem like a very good, loving couple. Both of those parents were great. No, but they're gay. No, I know.
We're aware. Where it's
thanks.
It's fine.
Hey, why did you make that one 950-year-old being permanently look like a 13-year-old fucking child?
Yeah. Wow.
Icarus, why didn't you throw her the dick? Yeah. She just wanted it once. You're telling me you couldn't throw her the dick once?
Over 1,300 years? Just one time.
One time is all it's just once. Who's gonna judge you? You're literally like God.
Also, is that Minerva? Oh no, it's not. It's Cersei.
It was.
Okay, I got you.
They were, I swear to God, they were like, well, isn't it weird that Gemma Chan played another character in Marvel? And they're like, do you think there's going to be an overlap between people that recognize her in that movie and people who are going to see this one? Oh my God, Phase 4.
The answer is no. Yeah, man, it did, bro. It did. There's,
God.
The crazy thing is, in Phase 4 and Phase 5, the only movie that's memorable. Actually, that's not true. I shouldn't use that criteria.
No Way Home. No Way Home.
Because I'll say this: Multiverse of Madness is memorable, but not for the reasons that they would want it to be memorable for. Not for the right reasons.
Dumbest, smartest man in the world, Wanda. Your current. Wanda, we're training our snipers on you.
Good times. Good times. Also,
Wanda, let me tell you all the weaknesses. Do you have a child? Yes. Okay. Where was Sue?
Yeah, hold on, Wanda. So you've been reading The Darkhold. Got it. So also, that means that you have probably access now to infinite magic. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no way that you could have created
Wanda.
just a universe where you just had your children with you. They've just never crossed your mind at all. Instead of trying to steal the child.
No, my favorite goddamn line in that movie. That movie was so dumb. My favorite goddamn line in that movie. We can handle your little Scarlet Witch. Okay. Why are you talking to me then? What are you doing?
Reasons, of course.
Somewhere, and this is very important, I have to clarify this just so we're clear. Somewhere for the last 15 years, Mordo has been killing sorcerers.
It's so funny.
Mordo has been killing sorcerers from the end of Doctor Strange 1.
Yeah, he has been.
All the way to, I'm assuming, what was the last thing to come out? M616 canon.
He was at Thunderbolts, right?
Thunderbolts. From Doctor Strange 1 to Thunderbolts, Mordo has been murdering sorcerers.
Mm-hmm.
All they needed to do in Multiverse of Madness was when they went to Camertage, they could have just been like, one line of dialogue. Our numbers have been dwindling. Someone has been taking them out. And we'd be like, Mordo! He's been killing them all. No more sorcerers.
Good job, Mordo. Good job.
So I think I cut myself off before. So like Feige was in an interview and he was like, yeah, we're going to use this as an opportunity to, make some changes. And, there's some characters in the post-credit scene that we have plans for and some we don't yet, but who knows? And I'm like, what a non-answer, you fucking...
Yeah.
I was going to say something really bad, so I'm not going to say it. But like, what, you dweeb. You fucking dweeb. I will be the least coward of Marvel right now, and I will tell you what's happening. We fucked up so bad that we took a $1 billion machine and turned it into dog shit. So we're going to start over. But we don't want anybody to think we're starting over because they're going to think that's bad. So we're going to just reset everything with the storyline we've thrown together in 16 minutes. And then you're going to see a new Iron Man and everyone's going to be happy. We hope.
No, they're not. Because this is the continual curse of RDJ. No one is going to accept, and that's not fair, right? Because I do think that there is a place where we could, but it would have been easier to accept had there been proper cohesion from phase 4, phase 5 up until the very end of it all. But now, with everything sucking the way that it has been over the past a few years, you're now looking at a situation where we just expect things to suck. So this new Iron Man, we expect him to suck too.
Wait a minute. You're filming Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is coming out July 31st. Because
has Tom Holland even recovered yet, by the way? Is he fine now?
He hasn't. But the reason you moved Spider-Man to July 31st was because you needed more time for Avengers Doomsday, which is now in post-production. But you're filming Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it comes out on the July 31st, which is 8 months from now? 9 months from now. No, 8 months from now. I don't know how math works.
I don't do math, so.
7. 3 plus 7.
Sure.
10 months from now. But you're still filming this movie. There are only 4 movies in Marvel Phase 6. It is Fantastic Four First Steps, Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is apparently Punisher versus fucking Tombstone. Whatever.
And Spider-Man's there doing something.
Yeah. And the Hulk is eating cupcakes.
Yeah. Good for him.
Then Avengers Doomsday, and then the year later, which is not even begin filming, even though you had to push Avengers. Okay, Avengers Secret War is not coming out in 2027. No, not gonna fucking happen. Oh god, these guys. And this is it. 4 movies. The entire Phase 6 is Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doomsday, and Secret Wars.
That used to be a year and a half. We used to get 2 to 3 movies a year.
We used to get 2 great movies and 1 good movie a year.
Yeah.
God, I'm like Wonder Man.
So these are the shows that are coming out. All right. So we got Wonder Man. Then we do have Daredevil Born Again coming back in March. Okay, cool. Is Vision Quest really still happening?
Yeah. They're done with it. They're just doing post-production.
Is that live action?
90s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought X-Men 97.
Isn't Mephisto supposed to be in that too, or am I wrong?
He better be. From now on, Mephisto better be. They should just be having Marvel. I got free time. And I can have significantly more free time if you pay me. Let me run your TV. I will make your TV so insane that people will not watch your movies because they will just be too busy watching your TV. And here's my promise. I've never worked in Hollywood. I have no understanding of any of that. And I promise you, I will make every TV show 4 episodes for under $100 million.
Sure.
4 shows a year. I guarantee you I could do it. I don't have to. I don't have to know anything about anything. Because I know you guys suck. You suck at what you do.
This is a great pitch so far. Phenomenal pitch.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast nothing burger nobodies, right? And I'm going to give you an entire fucking TV universe. And none of these characters, you could use them if you want for your movies, or I could take a character that was something in a movie or whatever, and I'm going to make your entire TV series going to be interesting as fuck introduction shows. And I'm going to make you an Avengers, but small. Like baby Avengers. And whenever somebody is like, oh, but I want more money, I will fire them and replace them because Hollywood is full of actors who will do anything. And I have no respect for actors. It's well known. And I'll just be like, hey, they replaced him. Why? Because shut the fuck up. And then that's it. 4 shows a year. I do not approve
this message. I just want to make sure that I'm not
4 shows a year.
I do not approve this message.
For 16 episodes of television a year for less than $400 million. Guaranteed. I will give you everything you got in phase 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I can do it in 3 years. Not going to say it now. I'm not going to say out loud my plan, which I do have, thanks all the fucking AI bots that I've been rushing it out with. And again, I'm not details, just plans. Like, hey, organize this thoughts for me. I'm like, yeah, no, I can do it, Marvel. And you know why I know I can do it? Because the people that you pay a shit ton of money to do it suck at it. So why not give me a shot? I'm not even asking for a lot of money. I'll do it for like, thinking of the lowest number I would do this job for. $80K.
80K.
80K a year. 80K a year.
That's lowballing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. But it doesn't matter Because after the first year, I'm renegotiating. I'm like, cool, you happy? Cool, 1.7 million an episode for me. I'm working for 4 years and then I'm retiring.
Retirement.
I promise. Oh God. Oh God, this is so bad. Hey, look, it's the recurring character. Oh, I don't even know why I brought this up. This is miserable. All right. That brings that to an end. We're almost done. Let's do a Q&A and we'll call it. Ready?
Sure.
Because we've gone absolutely mad. I'm going to take one question. I have a bunch of questions here. I'm going to take one about Peacemaker, one about Iron Man, and one about Wonder Man, even though we haven't talked about it. The trailer dropped this week. It was a teaser. It wasn't even a trailer. It was very funny, so I kind of like the lighthearted.
For Invincible as well, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Nope. I'm done with Invincible.
Are you?
I said it last week or last time we did this. Dude, I'm not waiting 2.5 years for anything. Like, I'm not waiting that long for anything ever again. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, okay, cool. Come on. Great. I'll watch it. My Hero fucking Academia is on its final season. And it's only been around for a decade or so. Maybe, well, it's been around the anime's only been around for about a decade. One Punch Man is about to drop its 3rd fucking season. There's a reason for that. I understand the reason for that. I'm still giving it. Like, I'm cool with it. But like, no, I don't care. Oh, it costs too much. I don't care. It's making money. It's popular. Then it doesn't cost too much. It costs the right amount. So I'm gonna give you a Peacemaker question.
Did this season suck? Yes.
Yeah, right. How do you think Peacemaker's banishment to salvation in any way sets up the future of DCU, like everyone has been saying?
So
do you think it's going to have repercussions in the other show they're doing, Lanterns, or in the new Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow, or anything? Do you think this ties into anything? Or do you think this was just dimensions? It's like multiverses, but easier to say.
Yeah, it's just I think it kind of is like multiverse bullcrap. I know that there's a comic that, or there is like a Salvation Run comics or whatever that I guess sort of whatever government bullcrap, right? I mean, with you know this whole situation. But to me personally, I guess this sort of sets up some stakes for. I don't think so much Green Lantern, because I do feel like Green Lantern sometimes it's like stays in its own world a little bit.
Don't call it Green Lantern. They
Green
went
Lanterns.
very clear.
Oh,
No,
what
just lanterns.
Just lanterns?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I'm reading into that.
Oh,
I'm reading into that, man.
Okay.
Because the Green Lanterns are fun, but they ain't the most interesting.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, are you keeping up with the absolute universe right now? Because it's Absolute Green Lantern. They just introduced Red Lantern.
I just started reading Absolute Lantern. Like Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Absolute Universe is the most watchable or readable fucking DC's been in a long time. DC as a whole, not just like a part of DC. Yeah, it's so good.
Like even they just rebooted Batman again, or I wouldn't say rebooted, but they restarted Batman again. So that's another ongoing series that's going on there. Superman's been doing pretty well too. So they got a couple things that are going on here, and DCKO just started. But either way, we'll digress from that. So sure, right? I don't think Lanterns is to me would be the biggest issue. I think that they probably will slow play that. It's really going to be, I think, about Superman. Like that's where I do see sort of like the bigger implications on things is Superman, and potentially when they start going into they won't say Justice League, but introducing characters that would fit into the Justice Gang, if you want to look at it from that perspective.
It's really hard to predict anything because nothing led into anything so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Creature Commandos, the only through line between Creature Commandos, first of all, Creature Commandos was insane. And then second of all, like some of the DC was canon, some of it wasn't. We'll find out, I guess, technically. And then like Superman, nothing set us, it didn't set anything up. We started with Ultraman. Right? We started with a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor getting arrested. That was the beginning of the DCU movies. Like we got everything. So like they're not doing Marvel. They're not building something. Now I know
they're not doing like a saga. It's basically just like
no, they are
an existing. I mean, they are, but they're
calling it Gods and Monsters. Like the first part, they're not calling it a phase, but it's called Part 1, Gods and Monsters. And
yeah, but we're not seeing what this builds towards, if it even builds towards anything.
We don't have any, and James Gunn was clear on why we don't have any. Like, we know what's coming out, we don't know what's happening, and we're 3 things in: Creature Commandos, a goofy cartoon, a full fucking Superman movie, and a goofier second sort of season of a not kid-friendly TV show. What's it setting up? To talk about some of the emergency awesome and shit. Like, oh man, what could possibly be happening? Like, oh, we were spoiled by Marvel. We think there's a plan. Ain't no plan. Ain't no fucking plan, man. This is.
To be fair, like the MCU also didn't really have a plan until things started not in the very.
Feige had the plan all the way up to Avengers.
Up to Avengers, but I'm talking about like they didn't. I don't think that they had a plan to go all the way to Endgame until things were successful within the first Avengers, and they were just like, oh, okay, now we can start dropping crap and building towards this. But to me,
the post-credit scene of Avengers, remember Thanos gave Loki the scepter in Avengers, and we saw him at the end of Avengers. Like they knew Thanos was going to be something.
They knew Thanos was going to be something, but to the extent that they were going to be able to utilize Thanos, what I'm saying is that they could have dropped that story quickly and moved on from it. But it was because of the success of Avengers when you started to see them like look at their post-credit scenes after Avengers.
Yeah.
They started to become a lot more impactful and a lot more meaningful because they were like, oh no. This was like a very successful phase 1. Phenomenal. Now we can start building towards the Thanos.
Really that outline gets to be more of a skeleton now. Like we had this idea. Now let's draw the fucking connections and plan it out and see what happens. And we also saw some stuff get hit by the side. So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I don't think anything in the DCU is set up. I really don't. I don't think anything's.
It's hard for me to disagree or agree because I to me personally, I still just don't really see.
It's also early. Like we're only 1 movie in. So granted, it's early but not original, you know? So maybe I'm still going to give benefit of the doubt. Like maybe Gunn's got some crazy plan and he's like, I'm not going to tell the story the way people know it. I'm going to tell a loopy story that when you get to the end, it pulls the string straight, and you can now go back and see like, okay. And I
mean,
look forward to like Supergirl.
Yeah, that's the next movie that's coming out, right? It's Supergirl. We got Supergirl. Then
Next
there's
movie is Supergirl.
Then we talk about Clayface, which I don't understand that fully. And then they come back with another
Batman.
Superman, right?
We don't have a Batman yet.
They keep on pushing that out. That's like what 2027 now, I think.
They don't have a script. They like James Gunn hasn't seen a script that he thinks works yet. So he's just like, no, we're not doing it. And WB has given him the right to be like, okay, man, when you find something you think is going to be good, run it. How long is that going to last? I don't know. But right now they're giving him enough. They're letting him make a Clayface movie. And it's in production and they're fucking filming. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like just a theory. So the TV shows make sense.
They're doing like a Mr. Miracle series too, right? They're doing I forgot. They did announce this. Like, there's supposed to be a Brave and something Batman, whatever. That's supposed to be animated, right? Is that supposed to be animated?
No.
That's live action?
Something else. Brave and the Bold was supposed to be Batman's live action movie, and then they redid it. Let me see what they got here. Supergirl, and Clayface come out next year. Man of Tomorrow is 2027.
2027. Okay.
The Authority is a movie. It has connections to what's set up in Superman, according to this. The Brave and the Bold was Batman and Damian Wayne Robert. Whether that's what it continues to be, we don't know. But
that's right, Damian Wayne.
They've been moving stuff, yeah. And they also don't want it to kick over with Batman Part 2, which is a very different movie that doesn't count, but they might as well make it count because, honestly, it fucking rules. Swamp Thing, which is the most James Gunn fucking... Of course we're going to do a Swamp Thing goddamn show. And then we have a Wonder Woman film / TV series. We don't know. A Teen Titans film, which... Yes?
Teen Titans. I'm down. I'm down for that.
A Bane and Deathstroke film?
Bane and Deathstroke? Together?
I'm just going to say, if he could pull off in like an afternoon what Sony has failed so many times to do, and it's make interesting standalone movies with villain characters. $10 points, because Batman's Rogues Gallery doesn't need Batman. Batman can show up, and the last 10 minutes of every single one of these movies and just fuck him up and capture him. And then they could do an Arkham Escape movie. That's great. Because now you understand the bad guys. You don't have to introduce them and everything. Oh man, James Gunn, please. But Bane and Deathstroke movie? Buddy Cop? What are we doing? And then Sergeant Rock. Sergeant Rock. So, I don't know. I know that Lanterns comes out early next year. I know there's a Booster Gold series, which I am all for. 100% love Booster Gold. They're doing an Amanda Waller series. They're doing a Paradise Lost series.
Amanda
which is
Waller
a Wonder Woman.
is pretty funny. Okay.
They're doing a Mr. Miracle series. We don't have any information except it's in development. Creature Commandos 2 is in production. And an untitled Blue Beetle series that is likely to star the guy who was in the Blue Beetle movie, which I didn't think was that bad.
I love that movie, actually. I actually really love that movie.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, you have me at Teen Titans, baby. You give me Starfire. You give me some dummy thick fucking idiot, space idiot who just has no idea what's going on.
Starfire.
Yeah, you give me Starfire. All right, that's enough for DC questions. Question number 2 will be about Iron Man. I have 3 here. We already answered this one in our conversation. Who should we kind of talked about this, but I still like this question. Who should have filled the leadership role that Iron Man occupied in the MCU?
Who should have failed?
We talked about Doctor Strange.
We talked about Strange. So this is post. This is post Endgame.
Yeah.
If Doctor Strange, you could have, if you decided not to just go with Doctor Strange, you could have had a team up of Strange, Spider-Man, even though the Sony thing is still questionable. Not solely having it rely on just Spider-Man alone would have been fine if you team them up with Strange. Although that's a very weird combo. There is still a place where I think you could have made Thor work if you stopped having him act like an idiot. Like if you went the route of what the type of things that he was doing, like in the Immortal Thor comic, the recent Immortal Thor comic, you could have made that work. If you had some writers that understood how to write Thor properly. Just because I think like the exploration of that world, because you were already kind of exploring a lot more. This is another thing too. Like, this is a separate conversation for a different time, but they've really done themselves a disservice by not leaning more into the cosmic aspect of the MCU.
Every time they did, it sucked.
Yeah, but
Eternals sucked.
Eternals has sucked, but I just feel like there's a lot of really good stories that you could have told involving Thor on a cosmic level with a character that's already been established in the MCU. Instead of trying to do like Eternals and Captain Marvel, that like that portion of it probably wouldn't have worked, but you could have tried to make it happen. But I think Strange is like the obvious answer. Strange, maybe a combo with Spider-Man. I would also say this too. You could have introduced the Fantastic Four a little bit earlier. That probably would have given you some opportunity for some legs there.
Honestly, we could have left this for the multiverse saga. We could have done one movie in universe and one multiversal movie every year. We could have done like, oh man, that would have been so much better if like Shang-Chi didn't take place on our Earth. If Shang-Chi took place in another reality.
Yeah, let's say you could have said the same thing about what if you had
Eternals
made
could have
Moon
taken
Knight
place in.
You could have made Moon Knight into a movie instead of making it a TV series. I think you could have still made that work.
Oh man, fuck! What dumb cunts they were. They could have kept one movie a year talking about what the people of our or TV show or whatever talking about, like what's been happening post Endgame, and one movie after after the first year when they did the Black Widow rehash movie and shit. Like they could have said Shang-Chi, and at the end of Shang-Chi, we could have met with the Sorcerer Supreme, who was not Wong, was Mordo. And we'd be like, why the fuck is he meeting with Mordo? And then Wong shows up and he goes like, he mentions that Mordo's the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, when did Mordo become the Sorcerer Supreme? And we just don't fucking know. I'm like, what? That's so fucking weird. And they could have just been like tiny little changes in all of these fucking movies. And then Doctor Strange would have explained, fuck, we're in a multiverse. Oh no. And now we would have known shit. And then like by the time we got like the Marvels could have taken place where like Ms. Marvel didn't take place in our universe. Ms. Marvel took place in the multiverse with mutants.
Multiverse, yeah.
And we didn't know, but then that was like, why would they play that song? No one knows what that fucking means.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like in a background in like a fucking video, they say like Westchester Mansion explodes for the third time this year. You know, like something like, is this taking place in the X-Men universe?
Mm-hmm.
And they could have slowly just shown us without telling us these are not taking place in the same reality.
Okay.
How would things have worked that included them? They wouldn't have, but they didn't work. That they tried anyway. So like, who fucking cares, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, what a fucking missed opportunity. What again, Marvel? $80K a year. I got you. Yeah, but they needed something. They needed something, and they had nothing. For Iron Man. The last question's about Wonder Man. You ready for this? I'm gonna ask this directly to you. I don't even have to read it. You ready?
Yeah.
What is Wonder Man? What are they doing? Why are they doing this?
So here's my thing. Wonder Man is. I'm looking forward to this because I think this is going to be fun as hell and funny. I'm looking.
It looks stupid fun, and I'm so excited.
But the problem with this series is that it's also one of those things again where it's like, this is like so my understanding is that he's playing a character that basically is like a satire, right? To like superheroes. Like he's playing a superhero.
It's my understanding. And again, I could be wrong.
Okay.
It is my understanding that in the MCU proper, 616 universe, he is a superpowered person who is playing a character in TV and talking about how hard it is. The show is going to be about making a TV show about a superhero. But they hired him because he saves them a ton of money on special effects and CGI because he has superpowers.
He has superpowers. Got it. Okay.
So he is an actor playing a superhero in a TV show like they did I Could Do This All Day, the Captain America musical.
Yeah.
In the MCU. And that the show is not about him being a superhero. It's about how hard it is to make a superhero show. And that's kind of like a meta joke. I'm just concerned that they're going to get up their own ass and smell their own farts with this joke. Like they did with She-Hulk. Like, oh, look how smart.
But here's my question, though. Like, where has he been this entire time if he had superpowers?
The same place Daredevil was, minding his own goddamn business. Not everyone with superpowers wants to be a hero.
But Daredevil was doing some Daredevil-ish. You know what I mean? Because they did make the Netflix series canon. So, like, he was doing other things. Right? Where the hell was Wonder Man?
We only saw the West Coast in one movie. I really want you to think about this. Well, it's not true. Tony Stark had a home in Malibu. But we only saw the West Coast in one movie. And it was recent. It was Shang-Chi took place in the West Coast. So, like, the entire MCU took place more or less in New York City.
Yeah.
In DC, like the East Coast, Jersey, Camp Lehigh. I'm thinking like Hulk, Harlem. And then I don't believe the Avengers did anything in America. Then everything else they did was overseas. Like, where was the Hydra base? Was that even in America? I don't think so.
Hydra base. No, that wasn't in America at all. No.
No, that was around Sokovia. That was in Europe.
That was in Europe, yeah.
Yeah. I think like Riri Williams, where was she? She Detroit?
Chicago,
sorry. Yeah, she's Chicago. That was like that's not East Coast, but everything else has been East Coast.
Yeah.
WandaVision was in Jersey.
Yeah, I was going to say WandaVision was right down your alley.
Like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Eastview. No. Like all of the MCU took place in New York. Thor took place in Asgard and New York.
In New York, yep.
Hulk was New York. Spider-Man, New York and DC.
Obviously, New York, yeah.
New York and DC, using both. Fuck, what else? Ant-Man. Oh, Ant-Man was in California. Right?
Yeah. Ant-Man was West Coast. Ant-Man was 100% West Coast. And
yeah, you could have just been hanging around there, man.
No, I was gonna say Doctor Strange was New York too. Never mind. Cap, obviously New York. Avengers,
DC in New York.
Well, except for the first Avengers
Ant-Man
movie,
was
New
the
York.
only guy on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
There could have been other people. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. Actually, the West Coast was like Shang-Chi, fucking Ant-Man, and Wonder Man was probably just fucking performing. I don't know if you know this. California different, man.
Yeah.
California different place, baby.
Yeah, you're right. He could have been on the side of the road doing his thing. I don't know.
He could have just been like, yeah, man. I was like, I could probably try to be a hero, but also I got like sparkles. So I was doing some like mime. I was being a mime, a street performer. Paid good. Got a little bit. I tried to make TV show because everyone in Hollywood, everyone in the West Coast is trying to get to Hollywood, man. They're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope it rules. It seems fun, but considering how the TV shows in the past have gone, where they've, especially Disney, not even saying Marvel, just Disney, where they hire people to write who suck at writing, and they're like, yeah, I don't know anything about this. we're just smart. We've never read this content. We just know what's the people are interested in. Proceed to make $100 and $200 million TV shows that nobody fucking watches. like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'll give it a shot because it looks fun. It sucks too because Wonder Man was an Iron Man villain. Yet again, another Iron Man character that we see somewhere else that has nothing to do with Iron Man. And the one Iron Man character that had to do with Iron Man had nothing to do with Iron Man in the comics, Ultron.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. As far as Wonder Man's concerned, next year, I thought it was December, but apparently they moved it to January. So,
yeah, we got that. Then we got Daredevil. So, whatever.
Daredevil's all I care about.
Here's my thing. I just want to watch more content, so I'm fine with it anyways. So it's something for me to watch. It's something for me to enjoy. You know, like I'm every single time I start something else, I'm like, oh, I'm just dreading the fact that like this is at some point going to end, and I'm like, damn it, what else am I gonna watch after that?
Gen V, My Hero Academia.
Well, that's it. Yeah, okay.
The finale, the next season of One Punch Man starts tomorrow or Sunday, I think, is the first release.
Okay.
And basically it's just anime. Anime won't let you down. Anime is here for you in your heart.
Yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to. I'm gonna catch up. So tomorrow night, I'm gonna catch up on Gen V because me and my wife we watch it together.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna catch up on that tomorrow. I'm gonna get. She watched the first season of One Punch Man with me, but didn't start the second season with me. So I might start that with her. Yeah,
good.
and then watch the 2.5 season.
What'd you think about Moomin Rider?
Yo, he's
the
the
greatest
best, bro.
character.
Yo, he's
Moomin
the
Rider
best,
rules.
bro.
Moomin
He's
Rider
absolutely
rules,
the
man.
best.
The Class D hero Moomin Rider gets promoted to Class C as,
Yo, so
as Saitama obliterates the Sea King.
yo, you know the funniest thing? So he's so I was watching it with because my boy, like, he's incredibly into anime. Like, so I have some competition, man, because I have, like, it's both of my boys that were here. They were here at the house last night, and they were talking to me about, like, how I'm way behind on One Piece. And
Yeah,
I was,
well,
and
that's
they were like,
irrelevant.
I'm way behind. I'm way behind on One Piece, and they were just, and because one of them, he's completely into One Piece now. He's watching. He's like binging all these episodes, and I'm like, how far are you? And he's literally still only like halfway, but he watches it multiple times a week. But he's still only like halfway. He's only at gear 3.
all like 1,100 episodes of One Piece
Yeah,
take place. The story is like 3 fucking years. There's a time skip.
Love it.
But the time skip is like 9 months.
When they all go and get like new powers. Like, is that
No,
like that?
no.
Or they all level up basically?
Here's how you track. We gotta end the stream. We can have this conversation offline.
Yeah,
but here's how
sure.
for anyone interested in One Piece. Here's how you track One Piece. Look at Nami's tits.
Oh, God.
When you first meet Nami, you're like, oh, she's a girl. Cool. And then something's gonna happen, and you're gonna be like, where'd those come from? And then you're like, okay, maybe Nami's developing, I guess. I don't know. How old was Nami? 20? She was what? I think she was 18 or something. Was 18? That's a lot for 2 years. And then you're gonna see like another thing, and you're gonna be like, Nami, what the fuck, babe?
Does Sanji getting increasingly more creepy as she gets hotter? Is that what happens also as well?
No, he maintains the level of wants. Sanji is in my heart. Sanji holds a very strong place because Sanji has never once pretended he wasn't about that pussy. But he's never once has Sanji pretended he didn't want to fuck. He was never like, oh, I'm interested in settling down and having a relationship and, you know, helping people. Sanji, from day one, he's been down bad. And he's been clear about it. And he has never lied. And he has never deviated. He's That's like, fair. What are you doing? I can kick and cook.
I can appreciate that.
Sanji.
I can kick and cook.
Yeah.
The perfect combination.
Sanji's character growth is not about his predilection. Sanji's character growth is being able to trust people. And he still wants to sleep with everything. All right.
So we're calling at some point in time, I will be watching it because whatever. Just for reasons. But yeah, we should call it.
Right.
We should.
We're done.
All right.
Thanks. 2 weeks from now, we'll see you. Follow us on whatever you heard this on if you want to. And if you don't want to,